All right. Let me open your eye real quick. I think it's time that I say this on here. I feel like I've said this multiple times in different forms, but what's important now is that I tell you guys and let you know the importance of not looking at women in an objectifying way, right? Not looking at them in an objectifying way, meaning not looking at their tits, not looking at their ass, but looking at who they are as a person, right? Looking at them for who they are as a person. You need to start doing that. You need to bro, imagine, right? Imagine they have the same consciousness as you. I'm not don't think that they are imagine they have the same consciousness as you. Right? Just imagine that. Imagine that they have the same consciousness as you. They go through the same things as you. The only difference with them is that they don't give. Right? They don't give their power to other people. They give it to themselves. Right? By working out, by well, really just, promoting their product, and they product is technically their product is them. But it's time I complain about this, right? I will admit, let me take this off. I've been having this on all day. But I will admit that I've been objectifying women for so long, right? And I feel like a situation a couple of years ago really taught me that, I got the eyes of somebody that looks at shit only at the surface level. And now I see why the surface level is the biggest liar ever, right? Because people, they just see, the glow up. They see the glow up, but they don't see the progress. They don't see the journey. And I feel like that's why only their blow up and only their reward, their results are shown instead of the progress and journey. Because if you look at their journey, right, and you completely forget and not objectify them, you will then see that they are just like you. I put this in a blog, so I explained it better on there. If you want, you can go to www.zellaswitch.com/blog. Look at the post that says the agenda of idolatry. It is basically me saying that they are taking advantage of the men, right? They're taking advantage of the men that do not want to grow. They are taking advantage of the men that do not want to grow and want to stay the same and are comfortable with being pushed around and used around like a rag doll, right? Some men actually prefer that. But if you're like me and don't want to be used and have self-respect, this post is for you. This post is for you. You know what I'm saying? This post is for everybody that seeks growth in their life and desires change. And that way, it really only happens through you not idolizing these people on the internet, because you don't know who they are outside of the camera. You don't know who I am outside of the camera. So don't even praise me for the shit that I say. You know what I mean? I could be a complete asshole, in your eyes, and you would never even know. But I just can't believe, for so long I've been looking at women this way. I just like how I said in Deep Within is a hero, I can't help but feel ashamed because they're reflecting my brain. They are reflecting my lustful ass brain. And they're taking advantage of it, instead of me using that desire for my goals and my creativity I've been using it for the wrong reasons, and I see clearly now. You know what I mean? I've been like battling and struggling with seeing this clearly, but I see it now. Right? I see it clear as day. I see clear as day why I should start just looking at them as regular humans instead of like this goddess, or like, you know what I mean? And like, with the men that think like that think that they are just like goddesses walking on this earth, the men that think like that, they are the ones that they go after and take advantage of. Because by idolizing them, you take away power from yourself and give it to them. But in reality, they're relying on you for the power. So it's like, how can you give someone power that's relying on you? Like, they rely on us for their power. This is facts. You could go on Google right now, look up Sophie Rain bands. She'll have a whole money spread, and all of that money is from men, bro. It's from men. Sorry, I think my metaphor is coming in here. Oh no, she isn't. Okay. But anyways, all of that power is from men, right? All of that power is from men. So, can you imagine if all of those men stopped objectifying her body and looked at her for what she was? Can you imagine what would happen then? Some women are pure though. Some women have a pure heart, and they do not have any intention to harm us. But there are others that seek to take advantage of that. And, you know, it's just, can't help but say that change is definitely needed. You know, change is definitely needed during this time, and I know it's hard to change, it's hard to evolve, and it's hard to stay or be out of your comfort zone. But I promise you, giving your power back to yourself, it's gotta be the best thing that you can do. It's gotta be the best thing that you could do in this life. Because once you realize that you were giving your power to those that weren't even deserving of it, you begin to see, like, wow. Not to say that they don't deserve the power. They have every right to, you know, receive the energy. However, by giving power to them, I'm stopping my own growth. You know what I'm saying? I'm stopping the process of me improving myself. They went through that process already. They're just showing the results. They're just showing the highlights. They're just showing the reward that they got from putting all that work in. You know what I mean? You would be a fool to praise and idolize their success over yours. That's all I got to say, man. Like I said, I just posted a blog not too long ago, the agenda for idolatry. If you want to go check that out, I'll put a link in the description box down below. It's gonna be on my website, and yeah, hopefully you start giving power back to yourself. You start giving power back to yourself instead of outsourcing that dopamine. So, thank you guys for watching. As always, like, subscribe, and share. We're on this journey together. Even if nobody sees it, this is the work that we put in behind the scenes.